Reports form an essential component of documentation for a digital library. Any action performed by a data grid administrator should be documented. For legal requirements, this minimizes liability. An example is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, the Public Company Accounting Reform and Investor Protection Act. A key provision is that all retention policies must be enforced uniformly. By keeping a log of all actions, compliance with the law can be demonstrated. The documentation must also be discoverable and searchable. Who performed the action? When was the action performed? What records were affected? The policies used to manage the data collection can also be used to manage the reports. There are multiple types of reports that can be managed in a data grid, from external documents to periodic reports for assessment verification to audit trails. External documents. The challenge is being able to find them. External digital documents can be stored in a well-defined place in the data grid. They can be replicated and their integrity monitored. Internal documents. Most internal documents can be automatically generated. Examples include generating a text file that records all actions controlled by a rule. The internal documents can also be stored in a well-defined place in the data grid. Audit trails. As actions are performed, they can be written to a system log. The system log can be periodically archived and a new log can be started. Event trails. As events occur, they can be correlated to the causal action and the changes that occur in state information. This is necessary to be able to prove the correctness of the data management environment. It is necessary to track all events caused by an action, format the events as standard metadata, such as premise, and store the events in an external index. External documents can be organized in a standard collection for long-term storage. This example rule, shown here, gets the input file name as an argument on the irule command or from a prompt. The rule checks that the collection exists, gets the current time, adds the time as a version on the file, and stores the file in a standard location. A message is written to standard out when the rule executes successfully. This is an example of the storage of an external report in a standard collection location. The star call parameter is defined interactively. When the rule is executed, the $sign after star file equal dollar tells the system to prompt for the collection name. The collection name is then verified. The default resource is set for the LifeLive resource 1. The system time is retrieved in human format. The path collection for the versioned report is created and the object is put into the data grid. The policy function create log file can be used to create a log file for actions performed in a rule. The log file can be used to record output from the rule, track errors that occur, and document successful completion of the rule. The create log file policy function has multiple input parameters to support application in a variety of situations. The policy function creates both a log collection and a log file. The input parameters are the full path name to a collection, the subdirectory that holds the log file. This is created if necessary. The name of the log file to which a timestamp is appended, the storage resource where the log file is stored. The output from the execution of the create log file function returns the full path to the log collection, returns the name of the log file, returns the file descriptor for the log file, which is needed to close the file. The rule HIPAA create accounts creates an internal report that lists the accounts in the data grid. A timestamped version of this report is kept to help track the chain of custody. This rule calls the create log file policy function to create a new log file. The rule is shown here. The rule constructs a query to find all of the users of the data grid. A pipe delimited line is added to the report for each user, which lists the username, the user type, and the home data grid. Take 7 minutes to complete exercise 66. Write a rule to manage externally generated reports. You will need to decide how the rule should be executed, where the report should be saved, whether the report should be versioned. The class example for storage of external documents can serve as a starting point. Please load your rule into the lifetime library in the subcollection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.